Welcome back to Make a Video Your Business, the podcast that encourages you to think about the visual marketing for your business. Today, I'm joined by Todd from Adam Mackay's agency in Sawbridgeworth. So I met you when you'd first started your job with Mackay's a few years ago. And I actually told Adam that you were no good and that you should get rid of him. Not because I was jealous, because he wasn't going to use us anymore, but because you had a completely different mindset to now, and now you work full time for Mackay's in Sawbridgeworth. Talk to me about that.
Well, it felt like a long journey. I didn't like the idea of continuing education, and after a week at work experience, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So I immediately just started to enjoy and just saw a real, Adam has a real drive when it comes to showing up to work every day, and it's more than just a estate agency for him, and it just really opened my eyes really to something that I never really thought that I could do before.
What sort of content are you making? Just houses?
Part of my job role is to be able to go to a house, film a full property tour, as well as some social media reels, TikToks. As of recently, we've really started to focus on advice videos, so advice for marketing tips, as well as getting your home ready for the market tips as well, how best to style and stage your home as well, potentially as well. That's stuff that we've really have picked up on in the last year.
It's not usual to have a videographer on staff as an estate or letting agent in 2023. It isn't. It is rare. Why do you think that it's vital?
Well, it's vital because you can't just market home in 2023 with just photos, unless you're in a booming market like 2021. But it's a much more vital factor to be able to have a video for a home, because we all know now that a home with a video on Rightmove or on a marketing platform will perform 403% better than any other listing without a video. So why not use that?
What do you think are the key things that people should be shooting when they go to do a housing tour?
Maximise the space, really, but the key things that I think that are very important to be able to get as many eyes on homes as possible is it's give a little, get a little back. So if I were to market a home that I personally think that would be highly desirable for a certain type of market, if I tell people as little information as possible, they will want way more. So for example, there's been numerous times that we've told people about a certain home that we've got come to the market via an Instagram story, and then we get 10 people messaging us back when we give them as little information as possible, and we're able to say, well, listen, you might like this home, but we've got probably plenty of other ones that you might even like even more.
Yeah.
And immediately, without even putting anything on Rightmove, anything on our portal, it was just one simple little video of Adam speaking outside a house. We've immediately got some 10 people interested in not necessarily that home that we're at, but maybe even many more across our entire database. To be able to produce something that will definitely stand out to the rest, I always have drone photography. Just showcases a lot more of the space as well.
It also gives you all of that unique perspective from above, so you can actually see the whole parcel of land. So if you've got an estate that's got, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 acres. I mean, you're in Hertfordshire, so there are properties that you're selling that have got a bit of land with them, and it's good to be able to see the breadth of that, isn't it? And the boundary lines of the property.
I would say retain attention throughout a video. So for example, if you've got the same shot of the same room, you might as well just be showing it as a photo. It's not. So I'd say retain and be able to maintain as much attention to the video as possible. So maybe cuts every 4 to 5 seconds, just to maintain
keep
the
pace.
Yeah, keep someone interested.
I see this a lot of the time where housing videos are lovely. You've got these beautiful tours, but there's a lot of onus put on the furniture and those things, but you're not buying the furniture. You're not buying that. That won't be there when you buy the house.
No.
But things like the bathroom suite, the countertops in the kitchen, the appliances within your kitchen, those sort of things, parquet flooring, beams, those lovely bits of detail and those extra value bits, those will be there. Sell the lifestyle, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But crucially, try and focus on, I think, the things that will be there when you buy the house.
Final tip, a presenter-led video. Someone to be able to actually show you around the home, and to be able to also just tell a story as well.
Yeah, and that kind of that sort of floor plan or footprint, or how you'd work through. And actually, when we started talking a few years ago, you were making housing tours, and there was a bit of a disconnect in the early days. I'm sure you won't mind me saying, of just the structure of your tours. You'd sort of
Mm.
go from one room to another, and there wasn't really much connection to it.
No.
Now your tours are very much, this. You start outside, you work in, and you almost go through the house. You don't do a walkthrough.
Yeah.
It's more artistic than that. It's a much
Yeah.
nicer video than that. But you do follow the track of how someone would walk through a house and
I
how
think
it
I've
would look.
I think I've learned that hallways are very important.
Yeah, they are.
So
They are.
even stairways themselves, and I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes stairways aren't very interesting.
they're
It
not.
depends what house that you go to, but
Yeah,
it's really important to be able to give a viewer or a buyer, or just anyone in general that watches our content, to be able to actually have an idea of where they are
that's
in this
right.
house.
Because then that's like, oh, we're upstairs now,
Yeah,
and so now I'm on the first floor, and now I'm on the second
and it's
floor.
great for a presenter to be able to tell you that as well. Now I've just showed you this. I'm now going to show you that,
Mm,
or this home comes with this, comes with that.
yeah.
It's all very important.
In addition to housing, though, your agency and Adam at Mackay's, I always work on an 80-20 marketing split. So 80% of content. And it's hard, it's sometimes hard initially to do it, but 80% of content that's being produced should be give content, should be advice, support, help, FAQs, top tips, all that sort of content, community-based things. And only 20% should be, here, I've got this shiny thing, buy it from me. How are you bridging that gap? How are you starting to bridge that 80-20 gap and trying to forge forward with some community stuff?
So I think at the moment I definitely feel like I have really been able to put my own spin on terms of property videos, in terms of, we spoke about how I'm able to tell a story and be able to go through a house and give you an idea of what it looks like. But I think that I'm really starting to be able to have an impact in terms of nurturing videos, advice videos, being able to give people tips and advice on how to actually style and stage their home potentially, and just stuff that people, if you're not a buyer, if you're not on the market, if I'm not looking to buy a house, no one's going to watch our content,
No.
because our content is primarily property tours. So to be able to mix it up and make it a bit more interesting for someone that's generalising the market, might be a little bit interested here and there. Sometimes they might need that extra push, that extra nurturing video, that extra advice video. That might give them a bit more of an idea of what they might want to do in the next 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Which could be the massive difference, to be able to go, I'll tell you what, I'll give them a call, get in touch with them, book in a home consultation or something, and just be able to just take things further, because it's just those little things that really do matter.
If you're an estate and letting agent and you're thinking about making video,
Yeah.
do you need to have thousands of pounds worth of cameras?
No.
Do you need to have, loads and loads of different gear?
No.
What would you say is a sort of entry level budget for someone looking to start and as an agent making video?
An iPhone camera is plenty good enough to be able to even start trying to make content. You can download apps on your phone for free that are editing softwares. CapCut is the prime example. It's right at the top. And there's really, you've got all the editing tools, everything is all there for you. As long as you've got, I'd say budget really, to be able to start making basic, videos, really is about a tenner on a tripod.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
I reckon that I think people can get started for about 100 quid or sub, with a tripod, a bracket for their phone, to actually attach it to the tripod, which is about a fiver.
Yeah.
And then I would always recommend a reasonably decent lapel mic for about 30-40 quid, but you can get them for about a tenner. Those things are essential. And then the rest is just nice to haves. And as you get better and better, and obviously I spoke to Adam a while back on the podcast, and he said to me that he's seen a huge rise in terms of the fortunes of his business, being able to effectively double his fee, which basically means the video content's doubled the size of his business, which is pretty impressive, really. And you've had a big hand in that, so great job.
Thank you.
So realistically, once you're starting to do that, you can start investing in some better, nicer bits of gear that make your job just a bit easier, and make anyone else making video content a bit easier. What would you say to agents, probably not in Sawbridgeworth, but what would you say to agents about video content for their business, whether they're on the fence about making it?
It has a much bigger impact than you think it does. When you start using video and utilizing it, you'll start to realize the benefits, because it's such a huge factor to have. To be able to say that you can efficiently market videos, market homes with video, and get results is a huge factor. As an agency in 2023, it's a huge factor. And we spoke about earlier about how there are still some agents that market homes with just photos on Rightmove and don't have a video. it's a huge factor that you won't realize it until you start using it.
Hey, thanks so much for your time, and
Thank you.
I wish you continued success. And I've told him never to sack you.
I believe you.
I love you, mate. Take care.